Let's talk about something that feels like it's affecting more and more of us, especially younger people. This kind of creeping brain fog. For a long time, we thought memory loss was a problem for the elderly. But something is different now. Did you know the average person unlocks their phone over 100 times a day? What if the real root of this problem is hiding in habits we don't even think twice about? Well, in this explainer, we're going to uncover how two staples of modern life are teaming up to create a perfect storm inside our heads. So, let me just ask you straight up. Have you had that moment recently? You walk into a room and just stop. You have absolutely no idea why you went in there. Or how about that little jolt of panic when you're looking for your phone, only to realize you literally just put it down? These little memory slips, they seem harmless, right? Easy to just blame on a busy day. But what if they're not so random? What if they're actually an early warning sign?
Look, if any of that sounds familiar, the first thing you need to know is you are absolutely not alone. This is a huge growing thing, and the culprits behind it, they are closer than you think. In fact, they're probably the two things that define so much of our daily lives. The smartphone that's always in your hand, and the food that's pretty much always on your plate. So let's dig in and see how these two forces are actually hurting your brain.
Okay, so first up, our digital sidekick. Our phones are essential, there's just no denying it. But this constant connection, it comes at a price, and our brain is the one footing the bill. We really need to get our heads around what this incredibly powerful little device is doing to our most important organ. The real heart of the problem is something called information overload. The best way to think about it is like this. Imagine your brain is a computer, and you've got dozens and dozens of browser tabs open all at once. Every notification, every email, every short video, that's another tab. And after a while, the whole system just can't keep up. It starts to lag, it slows down, and even simple tasks feel hard. This isn't just a feeling of being overwhelmed, it's your brain in a state of genuine mental exhaustion. So how exactly does this overload do the damage? Let's break it down. First, it wears out our memory centers. That constant flood of information from your screen forces parts of your brain, like the frontal lobe, which is your planning center, and the hippocampus, your memory hub, to work overtime. They just get flat out exhausted. Second, it wrecks our sleep. That blue light from our screens tricks our brain into thinking it's still daytime, and that shuts down melatonin, the hormone that tells your body it's time to sleep. And that deep sleep, it's critical. It's when your brain does its nightly cleanup, clearing out all the junk. Without it, that waste just builds up. And third, it creates chronic stress. Every single ping and vibration gives you a tiny little hit of the stress hormone cortisol, and being in that constant state of low-level alert can, over time, literally damage the cells in your hippocampus, the very part of your brain you need for memory. All right, let's switch gears to the second culprit. This one is just as common, but it often flies under the radar. It's not just about what we're eating, it's about when and how often. We've slowly slipped into this pattern of non-stop eating, from morning till night. Let's call it the grazing habit.
So the grazing habit, it's this new reality where we're eating almost constantly. A coffee and a pastry in the morning, a handful of chips in the afternoon, a late-night snack right before bed. Our digestive system never, ever gets a real break. Now think about our ancestors for a second. They didn't have a pantry open 24/7. Their bodies were built for periods of rest from digestion. That's when all the repair and resetting happens. We've basically gotten rid of that essential downtime, and the consequences for our brains are, well, they're pretty huge.
And this is exactly how that grazing hurts our brain. First off, it causes these wild blood sugar swings. Every snack, especially the sugary ones, sends your blood glucose on a total roller coaster. And those sharp peaks and the crashes that follow put a ton of stress on your nerve cells. Second, it triggers chronic inflammation. Constantly making your body digest food can start this low-grade fire in your gut, and believe it or not, those inflammatory signals can travel right up to your brain and mess with its delicate balance. And finally, it can lead to something called insulin resistance. See, insulin's job is to get sugar into your cells for energy. But when you hit your body with sugar all day long, your cells just start to ignore the signal. And since your brain is the biggest energy hog in your whole body, when it starts getting starved for fuel, its performance just nosedives.
So think about it. On one hand, you've got a brain that's totally exhausted from information overload. And on the other hand, you've got a body that's physically stressed out from constant digestion and energy spikes. Now, each of these is a serious problem on its own, but when you put them together, the effect isn't just 1 + 1. It's more like they multiply the damage. They create this vicious cycle that is incredibly tough to break out of.
And that brings us to the most important part of this whole thing, what we're calling the double punch effect. This is the moment where the damage from our screens and the damage from our food collide. They end up attacking our brain from two sides at once, and they completely block its natural ability to heal and recover. This slide lays it out perfectly. It's like a two-front war on your brain. On the left, you've got the smartphone strain. mental fatigue, a broken sleep cycle, and sky-high stress hormones. And on the right, the grazing habit, physical energy crashes, a gut that never gets to rest, and chronic inflammation. Just look at how they mirror each other. A mentally tired brain is paired up with a physically tired body. A brain that can't rest because of blue light is matched with a digestive system that can't rest because of constant snacking. It's stress from the outside world amplified by stress from the inside.
So here's the bottom line. Your brain's recovery systems are being sabotaged from both directions. The phone use stops the deep, restorative rest your brain needs to file away memories and clean itself out. And at the exact same time, the constant eating stops the physical rest your body needs to lower inflammation and stabilize your energy. So you have a brain that's tired from overuse, meeting a body that's stressed from overuse. Neither one gets a chance to recover. And the result is a real, noticeable drop in your ability to think and remember.
So how do you know if this is happening to you? Well, it can be pretty subtle at first. You might find yourself forgetting things more, and not just where you put your keys, but having zero memory of even putting them down. Or maybe you're finding it harder to plan out your day. Perhaps you notice you can't really concentrate on one thing for very long, and you're making more silly mistakes at work. Your sleep might feel all messed up. You're restless at night, but then you feel this overwhelming urge to nap in the afternoon. And maybe you just feel more on edge, more irritable or easily frustrated by little things. These are the red flags.
Okay, I know hearing all of this can feel pretty discouraging. I get it. But here is the really good news. This is not a life sentence. Not at all. Because these problems are driven by our habits, we have the power to change them. The question we need to start asking isn't what's wrong anymore. It's, okay, so what can we do about it? How do we actually fight back and start taking back our brain's health?
And that brings us to our final, and honestly, most important section, your action plan. We're going to lay out 5 clear, practical steps you can start taking, like today, to protect your brain from this double punch. This is all about building a healthier daily rhythm for both your mind and your body.
All right, let's look at how these steps create a solid defense. First, limit your screen time. Yeah, 2 hours a day is a great goal, but hey, any reduction is a win. The most important part, use night mode in the evening to cut that blue light. Second, fix your meal rhythm. Try to make breakfast and lunch your main meals to fuel you when you're most active, and really try to stop eating a few hours before bed. Third, think about trying intermittent fasting. Just creating a 16-hour window without food, like you stop eating at 8 p.m. and don't eat again until noon the next day, it is incredibly powerful. Fourth, prioritize sleep. This one's non-negotiable. Make a rule. No screens for at least an hour before bed, and try to stick to a regular schedule. Finally, move your body. You don't have to go run a marathon. A simple 20-minute walk every day is fantastic for getting more blood, oxygen, and nutrients up to your brain.
I want to pause on this idea of fasting for just a second, because it is arguably the most powerful tool we have here. When you give your body that long break from digestion, it flips this amazing switch, activating a deep cleaning process called autophagy. Think of it like your brain's own special maintenance crew. They've been waiting around all day for the traffic to die down. And when you fast, they finally get the green light to go in, clear out all the accumulated junk, and actually repair damaged cells. This period of rest isn't just about your gut. It's about giving your brain a chance to literally heal itself. So the ultimate takeaway here is not about throwing your phone away or starting some crazy, miserable diet tomorrow. The real point is that protecting your brain for the future begins with small, deliberate, and consistent changes to your daily rhythm. It's about creating some intentional boundaries with your technology and creating a little more structure around your meals. It's all about restoring those natural cycles of rest and activity that our brains and bodies are designed to thrive on.
And that brings us to the end. I just want to leave you with one simple question. Don't try to change everything all at once. That's just a recipe for burnout. Just ask yourself, what is one small change I can actually make today? Maybe it's just deciding to charge your phone in the kitchen tonight instead of next to your bed. Or maybe it's swapping that late-night bowl of ice cream for a cup of tea. Or maybe it's just taking a 10-minute walk after lunch. Whatever it is, that single small step is the beginning. It's the start of building a stronger, healthier, and more resilient brain for all of your tomorrows.